All right, Shalom. This is Shalamah from the Great Millstone Atlanta Church. Before I get started in this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace, safety, much love, and blessings to the elect of Israel. All right, so I'm going to go into the 144,000 men, the saints, mentioned in Revelations chapter 7 and also Revelations chapter 14. And we're going to go and pretty much go through the first set of scriptures. I want to say Revelations 14, probably down to verse 3. And we're just going to get into it. So on social media and pretty much TikTok, you have a lot of whistleblowers. You have a lot of, you have Esau telling the truth about the government, exposing a lot of things. So it's a lot of good information on there. You also have men on there that teach. You have men that teach the same doctrine of Great Millstone. So it's not all fun and games and jokes, but you do run across some good information on there. And every once in a while, you'll run across a bug out. So anyway, this particular female, which I've done a lesson on her before, because she pretty much, she'll read things out of the scriptures and show how it doesn't make sense. And she get a lot of views and a lot of comments, and a lot of men follow her. So I was reading the comments. It was a lot of comments, people basically saying, hey, you're right. So she's pretty much taking people away from the scriptures. And you got simple dudes in there saying, oh, you so beautiful. That's all really they want to do. That's really all they here for. Is to show face and, have men blow their heads up. But we're going to get into the video a little bit later. I do want to start off with the scriptures that she was talking about, because it's pretty important. When people try and prove things wrong, you have to come back. You have to defend the gospel. We do that with other Israelite groups. We do that with different religions. We do that with a lot of people in the world that's causing all people to go off. So let's go to it real quick. Revelations chapter 7. We're going to read 7 first, because that lets you know who these 144,000 men are. I'm going to start at verse 2, Revelation chapter 7 and verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. So you have angels waiting to bring that destruction. And it's going to be done by war, famine, different plagues, which is already starting, but once the elect fully gets sealed, everything is just gonna happen quick. That's why it's good to have this, to get this knowledge and this truth now. It says, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000, all 40 Slakia. Let me read that again. And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. So when you go down, it names all the tribes, and it was 12,000 of each tribe. So once you go down some more, it says, now this part is important too. It says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. And now this is talking about after Yahushua returns, once those nuclear missiles are on the way, the salvation that the Lord is going to come. People call it the rapture or it's pretty much the salvation. This is when the elect gets taken up into those chariots, which people call UFOs. They're gonna come here and they're gonna take the people away before those missiles come. And this place that you call United States, which is Babylon the Great, according to Revelation 17, this place is gonna be completely obliterated by all of these other countries. So while that's going on, the Lord is going to send angels to pretty much take away the elect. And they're going to be all Israelites. Now, that great multitude are, from different kindreds and nations and tongues, because all people are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We're not saying all Negroes are Israelites. We're not saying all, it's just blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You also have Israelite foreigners that look like these other nations. You might have a Korean person that looks like a Korean, but he's actually an Israelite. Because when you go back to different wars, Vietnam War and all these different wars, all our man was over there, getting busy with the women, pretty much. So you have Jake living over there as well. Different parts of India, different parts of Saudi Arabia. Just think about how long Jake been over there in the military, getting down with those women over there. So it's Jake over there in pretty much every country. So and they look like those people over there. That's why the elect is going to be taken out of all nations, but mainly, the southern tribe, mostly Negroes, and also West Indians, the people on down in Jamaica. That's the northern tribe. That's the southern tribe, Slovakia. Northern tribe mainly consists of the Latinos and Native Americans. So I'm gonna continue. It says, and cry out with a loud voice, saying, "Salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb." So that was the salvation. People were giving praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for coming through and saving them. Because this is going to be a terrible sight here real soon. It's going to be a lot of death. You're going to be surrounded by death. And the last thing that the Lord is going to send are those nuclear missiles to take this place out. So you're going to need salvation. And that's what's really going to break a lot of these people down, especially these women. So just reading through some of those comments, I should have screenshotted some of it. One guy was like, if they're not no women, he don't want to be involved. And I'm like, man, how simple can you be? So let's go ahead and continue. Revelations chapter 14. I'm gonna go through this pretty quick. Verse 1, it says, "And lo, I look, and it says, and I look, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts. and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. So these were regular men that came into the truth, that were prophets, from present time all the way up until Yahweh shall return, who the world calls Jesus. It says, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb wheresoever he goeth. Those were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. So the main problem that this person had was that they were men that had not been defiled by women. So we're going to go into what that means, the virgins and defiled by women. But I'm going to play this video real quick. All right. Turn my volume down a little bit.
In Revelations, it talks about how God has 144,000 chosen people. And out of that 144,000 of them are men. Not one woman. Crazy, right? But that's not even the craziest part. These 144,000 men were chosen by God because they did not defile themselves with women. How about that? The same God that told you in the beginning to be fruitful and multiply, now in the end, honors the man who did not let a woman spoil their body. Ain't that some shit?
Okay, so as you see, she is completely confused, and the Lord he didn't give women the knowledge. He didn't give it to them because it's not for them to know. He used men to carry out his word all throughout the scriptures. You don't hear too much about women in the scriptures. And there's most definitely not going to be women with spiritual powers that's going to rule over the earth. That's who these 144,000 men are. They're going to rule over the earth. And also, they're going to be granted with spiritual powers. Talks about that in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 50 all the way down. So first of all, let's go back to Revelations. Let's go to Revelations 21, verse 3. And I'm going to run through this pretty quick. It says, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh himself shall be with them and be their power. So the Lord is using men to pretty much rule over the earth, along with Yahweh Shai, who's his only begotten son. Also, you're gonna have King David. You're gonna have the 144,000 men, and you're gonna have that great multitude out of all these different nations that are Israelites. So, and if you ask them, what about the other nations? Hey, they're gonna have to serve the Israelites in the kingdom. So just imagine, first of all, women, put yourself in, just imagine a kingdom. All you have to do is literally love your husband and give birth. You're going to have servants. Of course, women like to cook. They like to do certain things. That's cool, but you're still going to have servants, handmaids and servants to wait on you forever. And the men, they're going to have to pretty much put the whole earth in order. The 144,000 men. They're going to have servants as well, but they're going to be the ones in charge of putting everything in check so the world can finally be in peace. Just accept your place as a woman. You have an easy job. So let's go to let's go to First Timothy real quick. First Timothy chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 9. This is how women supposed to the manner women supposed to be in, a holy woman. It says, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, and not with broaded hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Because the scriptures also say a glamorous woman is foolish. So you're supposed to be you're supposed to dress, in modest apparel. It says, but which be, which becometh women possessing godliness with good works. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer a woman to teach, nor assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. So women don't even supposed to be teaching. They're supposed to teach the younger women, up under them, how to love their husbands, because that's really all you have to do. Love your husbands, love your children, and keep your home. All right. So it says, verse 13, for Adam was the first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. So women can easily be deceived, manipulated. The Lord just didn't get them that manly, mindset. You have women that think that they're masculine, but they're still feminine. They still have woman parts. Their mind is still the same. It's just a little jacked up and confused, because of the world that we live in. All right, now let's go to let me see. I believe it's Colossians 2 and 8. All right, so the virgins, this is going into the virgins and the men that were not defiled by woman. That woman is talking about wisdom and different philosophies. Because if you're defiled by, say you're into uh, deep into Christianity, or some type of man-made religion, or you're deep into science. You believe in the Big Bang Theory and all of that, evolution. You don't believe in Yahweh Shai. You think that there's a God, but you don't know his name, and you really don't have the wisdom and the knowledge of the scriptures like that. You think the Lord is going to use you to carry out his will, to carry out his judgments? No, this is not talking about that. This is talking about it's not talking about men that never had sex. It's talking about men that's not deep into these other philosophies. So Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8 says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach. So your main knowledge and wisdom should come from these scriptures and the correct breakdowns that the Lord has given the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the men that taught them. Everything else is pretty much vain deceit. The Lord is dealing with a small group of men. It's a large group, but it's a small group compared to, the rest of the men in the world. So Uh, yeah, that the women defiled with the women is not talking about not having sex with a woman, because that means any man that's a father is not, it cannot be part of the 144,000. That's not the case. You got men that's gonna come back that were prophets in the beginning, that's gonna be in the end, that's gonna be part of that number. Those men had women and families back then. So why would they, why would they say that? And it means what is written. That's not what it means. So I'm gonna go into the woman, what the woman is, and a good example of that is Wisdom of Solomon and the Apocrypha that most people don't read. Chapter 6 and verse 22. I'm gonna start at 21, and I'm gonna read on down because this is pretty deep right here. It actually goes into what I'm talking about. Verse 21, it says, "If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore." So this is while we're honoring the scriptures and the wisdom that comes from these scriptures, and also all our powers. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah and Yahweh Shah and the angels. But mostly, we give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, because he's the top power that's in control of all of this. He's the one that blessed these certain men to come into this truth, to get this wisdom. It says, verse 22, "As for wisdom, what she is," and it's talking about, this is compare wisdom to a woman. It says, "As for wisdom, what she is and how she came up, I will tell you, and I will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity, and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth." So the Lord, he's blessing these certain men with breakdowns of different mysteries and mysteries of the world, of the heavens, and a lot of stuff is not for us to know right now. A lot of things are going to be revealed in the kingdom. You can even once you go to Revelations chapter 10, I believe it's somewhere in the first couple of verses. Yahweh Shah told John the Revelator not to write what he saw. So it's certain things that was meant for us not to know. But what the Lord has for us to understand now is written in the scriptures, and it's the understanding is given to those that got it. It says, verse 23, "Neither will I go with consuming envy, for such a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is upholding of his people." So this is, those men, they're gonna have, great wisdom and knowledge to be able to pretty much be kings over the world. Verse 25, "Receive therefore instructions through my words, and it shall do you good." So, hey, Yahweh Shah said, receive the instruction, and it's going to do us good. So the instruction comes from the scriptures, not from anything else. And it sure as don't come from women that don't know how to break down scriptures, which have, and this particular woman has a lot of followers. And she do a lot of videos, and she get a lot of comments of people agreeing with her. That's going completely off. The Lord gonna start destroying people like this real soon. Real soon, especially when these prophecies start popping off back to back, nonstop, until this place is finally destroyed. It's gonna be the truth or nothing. You're not gonna be able to go into Kemet and understand how to get salvation. You're not gonna be able to go into science and understand how hide from nuclear destruction. There's no way. The only way is through the instruction and the wisdom from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah given to us in the scriptures. So I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. I pray that this was edifying. Once again, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakak Dash. Also, double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us this truth. Shalom to the elect.